Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I decided to build a family mansion, and I know most of my builds have a focus on a family gameplay aspect. I always include different types of bedrooms so there's enough space for a big sim family, but in this case I really wanted to have a more regular looking family mansion, so this one is not completely over the top. It doesn't look like something Beyonce would move in LA. It's like more of a normal average family mansion. It's still a mansion, it's still super expensive and over the top, but I wanted this to be like a cross between a suburban home and a mega mansion. Like this would be their love child. It's like a in-between build. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like just a bit different. I'm like definitely in my dark window era for some reason. Like for the longest time you had to put up with white windows and columns, and now I'm always gravitating towards using a dark swatch. I don't know what it is, but I think it looks so modern and cool, and I don't know, it's probably just a phase. You know what's next? Maybe pink windows. I have no idea, but I just had so much fun building this. I love the contrast because we have all these dark colors here, but also these brighter colors for the wallpaper. The one at the top, like the bright wallpaper, is from Discover University. I think it's perfect if you want to have a look like this. The one at the bottom is from Cottage Living, and there's a super similar one in the Bowling Stuff pack, which is one of my favorite wallpapers. And I wanted to have a super fancy entrance area. I used platforms in different areas, and recently I've had so much trouble using platforms in combination with friezes or exterior trims. And this like completely confused me because it took me a while to realize that the platforms are the issue, and I don't know, maybe I am doing something wrong, but like the problem is the way that I build houses. I just expand them section by section usually. You can see here how I'm doing it. So I just build a room and then another room, and then later on I just look into the inside and I remove all the walls. So all I'm left with is just one gigantic room. So each level is just one room, and then I start to work on the floor plan. This is how I'm always doing it. And sometimes this one big room is not fully closed and the game does not recognize it as one room. This has always been the case, and in this case I'm just using the custom room tool. I then go over the whole room, and then I just have my fully closed room. I can apply my freezers and everything should work fine. This is how it's always been, and I always fixed it this way. And I think it was my last build where I like noticed this issue for the first time. I was kind of done and I wanted to apply the exterior trim or the freeze, and it wasn't working. Like there was like one section where it wouldn't let me apply the freeze. And I then decided to like go over the room using the room tool. So it's one fully closed room. I did that and still wasn't working. And I kind of got frustrated. And I then realized that on the outside, on the exterior, right in front of these walls, there was a raised platform. And as soon as I removed the platform or lowered it, it would let me apply the freezers, even though the platform wasn't super high. So I don't really get how this would interfere with the freezers. But I just had to make some changes to the build, and the same thing happened here. Like you can see that there's like a freeze going around it. I used the one from Get Famous, and I used lots of platforms in the front of the house, and they have this little flower bed, I guess you could call it, on the right side right next to the entrance area, and the game wouldn't let me apply the freezers, and I was so frustrated. So once again I just lowered them, basically removed the platforms in this area. Luckily it wasn't like a crucial area. I mean, if you have some platforms which function as stairs or a patio, you can just get rid of them. But in this case, it was just a random flower bed. I just wanted to have a nice height difference to make it look more complex. But in this case, I was able to just remove it. But yeah, this is like super frustrating. Like it then just wants to apply the freeze to the platform area. And I mean, you can hold shift to apply freezes or exterior trims to like only one wall, but even this didn't fix it. Like I couldn't fix it. I don't know if that's a new problem. I don't know. like maybe I've just noticed it. I'm confused. But yeah, I just wish that this could be fixed. Like this is an issue. I don't know. Did you notice the same thing? Is it just me? Do the platforms hate me? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but I fixed this. So this was kind of the main struggle here. The build itself is super simple, as you can see. It's just it kind of has a McMansion shape. I don't know if any of you know this Facebook page, which is called McMansion Hell, and they always point out what's really ridiculous about certain aspects of these McMansions, like these ridiculous builds. A lot of the stuff in these builds, like in real life and also in The Sims, don't make sense at all. Like the pages about real life houses. But I feel like we are all guilty of just building some McMansions in this game. Like there's, for example, just some columns which don't make sense because they are not really supporting anything, or there's just so many things which are super weird. And as soon as you like look at all these McMansions, you just notice the mistakes, and you just, when you look at ridiculous houses, you just immediately see what's wrong. And then when you start building in The Sims 4, you're like, yeah, I'm guilty of that. I've done that before and I'm going to do it again. I can't stop. And yeah, this is like funny to me. It made me more self-aware of what I'm creating here. But I mean, most of the time I'm creating different types of houses. But yeah, I can just recommend it. Google McMansion Hell, and it's like super entertaining, and I just love to take a look at it. Also, never forget that you are building because you enjoy building, and you shouldn't care if it's like a McMansion or anything. Like, I don't care that I'm building a McMansion here or that the cabinets are super high up. I mean, I'm always open for criticism, and honestly, I've become a better builder due to your constructive criticism. Like, when you go back to my first videos, some things were just a hot mess. I feel like especially the interiors were like super bad, because back then, before I started the channel, I used to use so much CC, so I was so used to rely on CC for creating amazing interiors, and I just couldn't really pull it off. Also, I mean, this was almost 4 years ago. It's 4 years in August, and I don't know, there weren't as many packs out as now, so over the years we got more furniture, I have to say, but it was also just a learning curve. And I feel like constructive criticism is always super important when you want to get better at something. You just have to like be open to criticism if you want criticism, of course, like the good wanted constructive criticism. Like, I'm always open for that, and I'm always like really excited when you tell me what I'm doing wrong. But certain stuff I'm just doing because I have fun and I'm aware of it, but that's just how I do it, if that makes sense. I mean, getting better and receiving constructive criticism and being open to it doesn't mean that you just don't do like anything that you think is cool, if that makes sense. So I think it's always just about having fun, and especially if you are just building for yourself, just have fun and just enjoy the game. So, but I just think like the real life McMansions, they are just really fun. Like, there's like this the Pringles can of shame, when they have like these essentially like a round room, a small tower, and they call it the Pringles can of shame, I think. And that's so funny because soon we are going to receive the curved rooms update, and I'm excited to build the Pringles can of shame, and I'm just so ready for the update. It's going to come out in a couple of days, and it just felt nice to just build a very simple family mansion here, because I feel like all the cool stuff is coming very soon. And recently I've been building so much, and it was like really chill and refreshing to just build a normal family mansion, if that makes sense. I had so much fun, and yeah, I'm working on the garden already, and I used like these beautiful stripes for the garden. I've recently really enjoyed doing that. I just used 2 different floor swatches, and I tried to include different things. I wanted to have a big outdoor kitchen so your Sims could have a barbecue. Then we have this area where the Sims can sit down. Of course, a pool. I don't know who it was. Like, one of you in the comments told me that I could use a pool ladder when I'm using a platform, and you have changed my life. Because The Sims cannot get in without a pool ladder, but I'm never using a pool ladder. I mean, no, I am using one, but like I never used one because The Sims usually don't need a pool ladder, and it looks so much cooler to not have one. Like, it looks more modern and simplistic. I just love the look, but I never used one. And then I was like complaining about platforms, and then one of you were telling me that I could use a platform and I could just use a pool ladder and it's functional. And you changed my life, because sometimes I just wanted to have a raised platform around the pool. I just wanted the specific look, but I couldn't do it because I always had to lower the stupid platform in one area so the Sims could use the pool. And now I can just use a pool ladder, and I'm always doing it right now. Like, whenever I'm building something, there's always a platform around it at this point, because I'm just so excited. So thank you so much. Whoever it was, thank you so much. You've changed my builder's life. It's like, every time I'm building a pool now, I'm thinking of you and I'm happy. Like, I'm always thinking of receiving that comment and I'm like, yes, now I can build my platform around the pool, and I'm just so happy. This is the interior. The interior has the same contrast as the exterior, lots of darker colors, and I mean, the windows already make the interior a bit dark in my opinion, and I just wanted to have the same contrast. I used these subway tiles. I'm obsessed with subway tiles, and I feel like I totally want a kitchen and or a bathroom with subway tiles. And I feel like at the point where this like could become a reality for me in my life, they will be totally out of style. And I mean, it doesn't matter what's out of style, but I mean, sometimes things change so much that you are like, yeah, no, I hate it as well. Which is like super weird, because our perception of what's modern and what's looking good is just slowly changing. Like, I remember when I was a kid, old furniture, like old people furniture, essentially, like as we as kids thought of it, was like really dark. So it was all about like dark wood tones were like considered to be like the furniture old people had. Like, it was also all about the color, not only like if it like in general looked old fashioned, but also the color itself. I don't know if some of you remember this who are like my age, but then these really light wood colors came out for furniture suddenly. Like, not super bright, but like a beige color, almost like a light wooden tone. And this was like kind of super trendy in the late 90s and early 2000s, and this was considered super modern. And now when you look back at this furniture, it of course does not feel modern anymore at all. And I think it's so interesting how our perception changes. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what's trendy, it doesn't matter what's like the newest thing. It's all about what you enjoy and like. But even your own perception changes over time, even if you don't care about these things. Like, I remember how I've considered this type of furniture and color as old people's furniture. Like I didn't mean it in a mean way, but I was a kid, you know. We just thought, okay, this is like the type of furniture grandma has and stuff. And then you have this light wood tones, and this was considered modern. And then at some point, the dark furniture came back, of course, in a more modern layout, like the whole shape and stuff, really like rectangular, minimalistic and stuff. But then there was a time where all you saw was like dark wood tones, and also for wood floors, just like the wood floor in this house here. And I remember like this was the point where I thought about like what we perceive as modern and trendy. I was like, oh my gosh, like in the late 90s, no one would have thought that this could be modern. And it's like fun. I think it's really super interesting. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a similar situation for you where you like considered something to be old fashioned and something to be like modern, and then your perception changed. I don't know, let me know in the comments down below. For some reason, this is like so interesting to me. Like, I think it's really, really weird how we just think of different styles and things as like as trendy or not trendy anymore. And as I said, even if you don't care about these things, you just have a certain perception. I have another example, like when it comes to TVs or laptops or something, like sometimes a black color is considered very modern, then silver or white, and then it just comes back and everything is black again. Like when it comes to any technology. Like, it doesn't matter even for phones probably. And this is also interesting. Like, I mean, every single TV back then was black or dark gray. And then they came out in the silver color, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then silver color TVs were considered to be modern. And then it kind of stopped. And then like every PC setup was black again. And TVs as well. As I said, I think it's interesting. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It just matters what you like and what you prefer. And to be honest, like super retro old-fashioned stuff is like super cool as well. And yeah, just do what you like, be yourself. That's like the most important thing. But like the phenomenon itself is just super interesting. Here and here I'm working on all the different bedrooms. I think some of the kids' rooms turned out so cute, and I'm so excited to build some kids' rooms, teenager rooms using the new high school years expansion pack. I'm just so excited for the pack to come out. I've been waiting so impatiently, and I feel like we all feel this way. It's always super exciting, and I also know like a lot of simmers don't want to play when a new pack is about to come out. I was always the same. When a new pack was about to come out, I stopped playing because all I could think of was the upcoming pack. I only wanted to build and play with the new pack, so I was just patiently waiting or impatiently waiting, and I was just thinking of the pack, and I just couldn't bring myself to play. And I feel like this is a phenomenon for a lot of people. I always see that a lot of people kind of stop playing as soon as a pack is announced, especially in the last couple of days before the pack drops. And I just feel excited to finally get my hands on the pack. I'm just so excited for this. And I also wanted to have like a small room which has a toddler bed. You could also remove it and put a crib in there. It's like more for small kids, and you could just modify it. It's a smaller room as well, so this made sense because the bigger rooms just obviously have more space. For this room I wanted to have 2 beds at first. There are 6 bedrooms, I think, but for this, like in the whole house, but for this I wanted to have 2 beds, but then like it wasn't working out because I wanted to put a desk in there. And yeah, I didn't include all rooms in this video, but you can see the screenshots because I took lots and lots of screenshots, and you can see all the screenshots here. This build is CC free and unmodded in the gallery. You can just grab it from the gallery. My ID is KateEmerald. You can also grab the tray files from my Patreon. Patreon is another way to support me if you would like to. Of course, it's super optional, I just want to mention it. And all tray files go public after 2 weeks. So all tray files are available for free, but there's a 2-week perk for my Patreons who support me. And you can, of course, always grab my builds from the gallery for free. Always, like right after uploading a video, I upload my build to the gallery and the tray files. I just wanted to mention this because recently someone was confused about the tray file situation. And now it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons and my Emerald YouTube members. Thank you so much for your gigantic support. A big thank you to Mehmet Ali Bariskan, Kamar Henderson, Alice Juridi, Charlotte, Asia, Emma Barnes, Lisa Martin, Saturated Spark, Shannon McClam, Talena Lynn, Stephen, and Tina Turner. Thank you so much. And a big thank you to all my other Patreons and YouTube members. Thank you for supporting me. And of course, thank you to anyone who watches my videos. Thank you for always supporting me, being here. And I just love you all so much. And you just make it possible that I can do what I'm doing. And thank you so much. And yeah, I hope you will have a absolutely perfect day and week. You are just so amazing. And I hope you have the best day, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.